This community program would not be possible without the financial support of our corporate sponsors and community members. Tri-Cities Community Television would like to especially thank the cities of Port Moody, Coquitlam, and Port Coquitlam for their belief and support of community television. If you wish to be part of our volunteer team, become a sponsor, or make a financial contribution to support community programming, please feel free to contact us at the following locations.
It's Cathy here with Tri-Cities Community TV in downtown Port Coquitlam at Lee Square. And my next guest is Cynda Yeasting. She's an author, but she's also someone who fell in love with a terminally ill man. Cynda, thank you for being here today, and I appreciate you coming. I learned about your story a little while ago, actually, and we've had some history together, but you and I have never met. Many years ago, I worked in the same building that you did, and your story fascinates me. I've been following you on social media, and in this day and age, a lot of people are doing online dating, they're on social media, the world of Tinder has exploded, and even myself, back in the day, I was on various dating sites, but you met Michael on Plenty of Fish.
Yes, I did.
And you knew that he was terminally ill, and
yes.
I guess my mind and my question's been over the last several months is, why wouldn't you walk away? Why wouldn't you run from something like that? Why wouldn't you go on to the next person's profile?
Well, the first time I spoke to Michael, we spoke for well over 2 hours, and he was the most interesting, amazing, and smart man I'd ever spoken to. And I've met a lot of smart men in my life. I could have run away. He was very honest, told me at the outset on that phone conversation that he had stage 4 terminal cancer. I could have easily said, thank you, I'm not interested, but somehow I knew deep down if I didn't meet him, I would regret it for the rest of my life. And I'm forever grateful that I took that chance, even though I knew the chances were I'd be heartbroken in the end.
So this was in 2007?
Yes, that's correct.
You'd been online dating for how long?
Just a few months. I'd gone out with a few guys, nothing sparked, and one actually was pretty certain was trying to cheat on his wife with me, and that really turned me off. And then I found Michael.
And then you found Michael, and he was honest with you from the beginning,
yes,
as you said. And after the 2-hour conversation, what was your first meeting like?
Our first meeting was great. We had dinner. He insisted on coming to pick me up. And normally I would never let someone know where I live, but it turned out he somehow knew an uncle of mine. And it turned out he didn't actually know that uncle, but it was a small town, so it seemed okay and safe. Anyways, he was late for our first date. And then I found out afterwards that he was often late. So he was late 15 minutes, but he was adorable when I answered the door, and I looked like how he expected, and he was happy. We had a very lovely dinner, actually out here in Port Coquitlam at Osamu. He was candid in the car, talking about life and experiences and how he'd made some pot brownies or muffins and had them on the golf course, and it threw him for a loop. And just the fact that he was so what you see is what you get really was heartwarming for me.
Mm-hmm. So things progressed, and as time went on, obviously he had various appointments at doctors. What kind of cancer did he have?
He had lung cancer.
Lung cancer. Was he a smoker?
He was, unfortunately.
He was a smoker, okay. So you jumped right in with both feet. You know your heart's going to get broken. We don't know when the end is. And you're just taking day by day how things are coming to you. And you're falling in love with this man, really, right?
Yes.
And when did you start writing for Michael Love Cynda? Was this after his passing or during?
It was sort of before and after. I've always been someone that journaled.
Okay.
And I would do a lot of emails to myself about what was happening, how I was feeling.
Yes.
It was sort of a coping mechanism.
Yes.
And about a month, just under a month after he passed away, I started actually putting things in chronological order because I wanted to have a record of us. I didn't want to forget. I truly believe that when you write in the moment, that's when your memories are clearest or the emotions are clearest. And that was really important for me to capture that and not to lose how I felt at that time.
So in the fall, I saw you at an event in Vancouver that I attended, a sort of women's empowering event. And I also know that your book is in various chapters around town, and I like to frequent the one here in Coquitlam. And I said to my partner, where is the book where, you know, local artists, where's the section where local artists would put their books? And of course, he's a very avid reader, and he found it for me, and I always kept looking at this cover, Untitled Chapter, and you know, not for the money, because it's very reasonable by all means. I didn't want to be sad reading this, because I think that it's such an incredible thing to be with someone who you know is going to pass. My partner, his wife passed after 25 years, and you know, he then took a lot of time to move on. What have you been doing since Michael's passing? And I mean, in all the things that I read about you, you're carrying the torch. You've got a heart tattoo on your ring finger there, and your love is so deep for this man. And like, how are you feeling in terms of, do you feel that you're stuck, or do you feel like you are moving on with your life? Like, what's going on?
I definitely feel like I'm moving on, perhaps slower than some people would like. I've definitely lost a lot of my fitness because of, after he died, I was really depressed. I had a lot of health issues after he died. They were all fixable, fortunately. I've traveled a lot. I've done things that I wanted to do. You know, you have your usual bucket list, and yeah, one day we'll do this. Well, I didn't want to wait till one day, because we know life is fleeting. I went to Europe when I was 49. I didn't wait till 50. I went on a mission trip with a bunch of people to Cambodia, and everyone was a stranger except one, and we're all really good friends now. So I've done a lot of those things. I actually went on a couple of dates with a really sweet man last year, and it was, you know, he wasn't the right guy for me, but at least I took a chance. And I told him I was really glad that he was the first guy after Michael.
Right, I was going to ask you, like, this has been since 2007, and we're in 2017 now. What's your life been like? I'm sure you'd like to have a partner and enjoy the travel and the vacations and the dinners together with a new gentleman in your life. What's stopping you?
Partly because I do feel like I'm ready, but also because I'm promoting the book, talking about the love of my life. That's a lot of pressure on a new person. And you know, I'm definitely receptive to meeting someone. It just hasn't quite happened. Going on to the online dating again is something I've thought about, but haven't really pursued too much. I do work full time. I'm promoting the book as much as I can. I'm taking a business course. And so with family and friends, the plate's a little full right now. And I have a pretty good life.
Yeah,
and yes, definitely.
You're not trying to sort of bring a man into your life because it's a need. When the time happens and the time is right, you'll know it, just like you knew it with Michael.
Yeah.
And it will make for a good life for you when you're ready, right?
Yeah, yeah. And I do feel I'm pretty ready. It's just a matter of finding the right person.
So your book's in a lot of different chapters right now around town. I mentioned the one at Pine Tree Village.
Yeah.
Where can people find out more information about you?
I have a website, www.michaellovecynda.com. I'm also on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. The books are at 4 other Indigo Chapter stores, Park Royal, Richmond, Broadway and Granville, and now I can't remember the other one.
That's okay.
I apologize.
That's okay.
I'm also at Black Bond Books.
Yes, and you've been doing book signings and having little events and bringing your cookies and baking all the time. She brought me some cookies today that I'm not sharing, so I really, really appreciate that. It's a beautiful story, Cynda. I do hope that you find, I'm not going to say another Michael, because basically there was only one in your life.
Exactly.
You know? I do sort of want to show the book here, and I appreciate you bringing me my copy. So I travel a lot with work, so I'm going to bring it on my travels and read, and who knows, maybe I'll spark someone along the way that wants to look at the book as well, because I like to pass my books on. Just one last question before we wrap up. What's your goal? Like, what are you trying to accomplish by, you know, carrying on his name in terms of what you're trying to do at the end of all of this? What are you going to do?
Well, he never wanted to be forgotten, and he won't be now. I'm also fundraising for the BC Cancer Foundation and raised around, I think, $400 so far. and my website's not up to date on that, unfortunately. But to also make people take a chance on love, not be so scared. Not necessarily date someone that's terminally ill, because that's a huge risk to your heart. But don't discount someone because they're 20 pounds overweight, or they have diabetes, or perhaps they don't fit into the perfect mold of what you want. Nobody's perfect, and everyone should find love with someone.
Exactly,
And
it's what's in the heart that matters.
Yeah.
Exactly. I appreciate you being here with us today. Cathy Cynda with Tri-Cities Community TV. As Cynda told us very well here today, take a chance on love. She did, and Michael will never be forgotten. Thanks very much.
This community program would not be possible without the financial support of our corporate sponsors and community members. Tri-Cities Community Television would like to especially thank the cities of Port Moody, Coquitlam, and Port Coquitlam for their belief and support of community television. If you wish to be part of our volunteer team, become a sponsor, or make a financial contribution to support community programming, please feel free to contact us at the following location.